We shall never surrender.
One small step for man.
I have a dream. Ask not what your country can do for you.
What's the status quo of your favorite quote? Professor Buzzkill explains all on Quote or No Quote.
Well, it's your favorite professor back here again with your quote or no quote episode for the week. And this week we're looking at P.T. Barnum saying, "There's a sucker born every minute." Now, P.T. Barnum, famous 19th century American showman and founder of Barnum and Bailey Circus, is often quoted as saying that, "There's a sucker born every minute." And this quote is usually trotted out to refer to something that con men or other shysters who try to separate people from their hard-earned money would say. But did good old P.T. ever say it? And I say good old P.T. because I want to give him a little bit of background. P.T. Barnum did a lot of different things in his life. Author, politics, promoting the anti-slavery cause in the 1850s. But he referred to himself like this: "I am a showman by profession, and all the gilding shall make nothing else of me." And although he was certainly obsessed with making money, there's no evidence that he deliberately wanted to bilk people out of their hard-earned cash, despite what you might think of the various acts in his circus. And you won't be surprised, Buzzkillers, to hear that there's also no evidence that Barnum ever said there's a sucker born every minute. And we know this because, among other things, in fact, the strongest piece of evidence is linguists and word origin experts have shown that sucker was not used as a synonym for fool or someone who is easily fooled in the 19th century. People would say fool or something like that. They sometimes said flat or things like that. There's all kinds of synonyms for fool, but sucker wasn't one of them. And finally, as so common with famous quotes, "There's one born every minute" goes back to before Barnum was born. Variations specifically of "There's a fool born every minute" appear in print as early as 1906. And those early printed references almost always refer to it as an old saying or an ancient truism. Well, here are a couple other truisms, Buzzkillers. The precise number is, of course, impossible to determine, but experts seem to agree that roughly 250 people are born every minute. If only one sucker or one fool is born every minute, then we're probably going to be okay as a species. After all, that's a paltry 0.4% sucker birth rate per minute. But here's something that's even more heartening. It's a freshly minted statistic that Buzzkill Institute scientists have just handed me. Of those 250 babies born per minute, over 24, in fact 26 worldwide, will grow up to be buzzkillers. At the very least, we're outpacing the suckers, and in fact, we're crushing them. Good news, eh? Well, make sure to rate and review our podcast on iTunes and tell all your friends to subscribe, and we'll increase that rate as the centuries go on. Talk to you next week.
Epicast.